The German Chancellor Angela Merkel has used her Vision for Europe speech to the EU Parliament to call for the creation of a European army. She received both cheers and jeers in Strasbourg. Merkel's endorsement comes after US President Donald Trump launched a tirade of social media attacks on Emmanuel Macron, as we've already heard this morning. Emmanuel Macron, had called for joint military capabilities. Joanna Gill has the story.
The German Chancellor may have announced her future retirement from frontline politics, but Angela Merkel was centre stage for a packed-out European Parliament plenary. Outlining her vision of the future of Europe amid the chaos of Brexit and a rise in populism, she called for unity, including a European army. But above all, her vision was underlined by tolerance. It becomes more and more important for us Europeans to stand together. And that's why within the EU we need more than ever before the respect of the other and their interests. More than ever before, we need the understanding that tolerance is the soul of Europe, that tolerance is a core part of who and what we are as Europeans, and that only with tolerance we can develop the willingness to see the interests and needs of the other as our own. Despite this rallying cry, Merkel's record on austerity came in for some particularly scathing criticism from those on the left.
She never gave a big speech in Germany to defend the Eurozone. She never explained to people why it's first of all, also deeply German interest to stabilize the euro and the Eurozone. And if you look at the right-wing development, the extremist development in Germany, you could see that the Alternative für Deutschland started as an anti-euro movement and developed towards an extremely right-wing and xenophobian party.
However, Merkel's approach has won over some in the centre for its balancing effect.
Mrs. Merkel has been, one of the pillars of European integration. She has been a very, very important factor in stability. At the same time, the whole European Union cannot rely on one person, of course. That would be unhealthy.
Joanna Gill, Euronews, Brussels.
Well, let's head over to Strasbourg, where Maeve McMahon is waiting for us. Good morning, Maeve. Angela Merkel is someone who was seen as the Empress, or has been seen as the Empress of Europe. So how was she received by MEPs?
Well, as you can imagine, the European Parliament pulled out all the stops for Angela Merkel. She's the 12th head of state to visit the European Parliament in this format to outline their future vision for Europe. And when she arrived in the European Parliament, she got a standing ovation. She said that it was the greatest parliament in the whole world. It was where the heart of democracy was beating. But she was also heckled by some. We saw some MEPs praise her and thank her for her open door policy back in 2015, say she was very courageous, but others blame her and say that was what brought about her downfall. Nigel Farage even thanked her, saying that she was responsible, among other things, for Brexit. And other MEPs from the far left of the room, who come mostly from countries like Greece, Spain and Portugal, who suffered a lot in the last couple of years, were highly critical and blamed her for her German-style austerity policies that have brought about a lot of poverty in their countries. Now, after her speech, I caught up with some of those MEPs, like Matt Carthy, an Irish MEP from Sinn Féin, and Stelios Kouglou, a Greek MEP from Syriza. We can take a listen now to what they had to say.
Policies that she has pursued and championed at a European Council level have resulted in devastation. They've resulted in economic stagnation, and they've resulted in hardship for far too many families right across Ireland, and particularly in peripheral countries like Ireland.
Ms. Merkel failed to lead the European Union. She had a gold opportunity to do it, but in order to do that, she had to be a real leader of the whole European Union, and not only of Germany. She insisted of behaving like a German leader and trying to benefit from the crisis for the sake of Germany, but not for the sake of the European Union as a whole.
All right, so MEPs there talking about Angela Merkel. Maeve, let's talk about this European army. I mean, this is the first time that Angela Merkel has come out in support of it. How's that gone down?
Well, you can imagine with Eurosceptic parties, it went down like a lead balloon. It was the only point of discussion for some of the Eurosceptic parties. Afterwards, we saw Nigel Farage criticised the European Union for trying to start a Cold War with the United States. But you have to listen carefully to what Angela Merkel said yesterday. She didn't say she wanted to create a European army now, but she said she would like to see the vision for a real, true European army one day. It was a direct response to, of course, Donald Trump, to show that Europeans can stick together and can defend themselves. But it's not going to happen overnight. There's still no real definition among EU member states about what this European army would look like. So imagine a lot more debate in years to come on that very topic, Belle.